bit about who I am. I actually just moved out to LA. I'm from Chicago. I went to nursing school at Illinois State University. Right after college, I worked in the hospital for about a year, and then I switched over to home care. I was a home care nurse, case manager. I worked with a lot of older patients who were on at least five or more medications. And quickly, I began to see this issue with medications, not only in my patients but myself. I was diagnosed with eczema, allergies, and asthma at a very young age, and on top of that, I was also diagnosed with depression. Um, so while I was working with my patients and I was seeing some of these issues, and I would talk to the doctors, I would talk to my nursing directors, I just felt I was not being heard. I would have patients who were on two medications, a Coumadin and an insulin, and it was very dangerous, and they had vision impairment, and I was the case manager, and I would call the doctor, this is dangerous. I'd also have issues of interacting medications, and it was scary, and the doctors, I just felt like I wasn't being heard, and I couldn't advocate for my patients the way I wanted to, and I knew it was right. And then with myself, I started noticing, my depression. I was switching psych meds, I was switching antidepressants, and I wasn't getting better, and I felt like I was just suppressing the issues, and I wasn't getting to the root of, what is going on here. So, with the holistic type of nurse that I am, I actually left my job. I got to a point where my boyfriend was very supportive. He's like, Bree, this is not healthy. You're so upset all the time because you can't do what you feel is the right thing to do for your patients. So I took a leave of absence. I started to kind of delve into my issues, and I saw this correlation between the physical aspect of my compulsion of itching related to the eczema, but I started making a diary, and I noticed that there was a psychological component. Every time that I was stressed out, or sometimes around my menstrual cycle, or if I was depressed, sometimes when I drink alcohol, the next day, my serotonin levels may be different than your serotonin levels, and I have this general depression. So I really started keying into what was going on. And so when there was an issue of stress, depression, a mood issue, I began to itch. So I actually started to gather some different information of the natural products. When I used to go to dermatologists, I was prescribed different prescriptions, and it would work, but after my skin became almost susceptible to it, it didn't work anymore, and I felt like it was just a band-aid effect. So I started using different products, which I'm going to talk about, to target not just the physical components, the antibacterial properties, some of the, for the dry skin, anything related to the physical properties. I started to target the psychological properties as well. So by